About 3 hours from Siem Reap, Battambang is a laid-back riverside city which sits in northwest Cambodia, not far from the Thai border. We made the journey by bus, an easy and affordable way to see a bit more of everyday life along the way. Today, Battambang is Cambodia's second largest city and is known for its French colonial architecture, fertile rice-growing countryside, and thriving art scene. We were warmly welcomed at our family-run hotel with snacks and a beverage. This would quickly become one of our favorite stays on our trip, as the family surprised us with kind and thoughtful gestures like these lovely flowers and a picture taken of us just moments before welcoming us to our room. The food was incredible throughout our stay, but the croissants at breakfast each morning, all I can say is wow. The next morning, we set out on an all-day tuk-tuk tour, kicking off at 9:30 a.m., pretty much the go-to way to explore the sights around Battambang, with your driver doubling as guide and chauffeur for the day. Cambodia was under French rule from 1863 to 1953. We stopped here at the governor's residence, one of the buildings left over from that time, before cruising past the monument commemorating Cambodia's independence from France in 1953. Next, we passed the statue of the city's legendary Black Stick King, a local folk hero said to have founded Battambang. We cruised through the countryside and along the river, our guide stopping frequently to tell us more about his homeland. We stopped here to admire the craftsmanship of these local artisans, carving these giant statues and decorative panels from stone. He also stopped to show us the many fruits that could be found growing along the road, like banana, guava, pineapple, and cassava. Next stop was the Hanging Bridge, a narrow suspension-style bridge stretching across the Sanker River. It was built by locals to connect communities that once could only cross by boat. It sways and bounces with every step or motorbike, which makes crossing it part practicality and part adventure. An old railway has been reborn as one of the most unexpected parts of our trip, the bamboo train. $5 per person bought us open-air views of the countryside and a slightly questionable braking system. We got a front row seat to rice fields and fresh air. During the quick turnaround of the bamboo train about 20 minutes later, some energetic saleswomen in the village convinced us to pick up a few local goodies. On the return trip, we passed a parade of massive local cows before rolling back into the station, a little sun-soaked but thoroughly entertained. We made a quick stop to admire more rice paddies, their bright green fields stretching across the countryside, before reaching a giant tree that is home to hundreds of fruit bats. These bats can have a wingspan of over 3 feet, and they hang upside down during the day, flapping their wings periodically to stay cool. Our guide introduced us to a local treat called Noom and Samchek, a sweet banana and coconut sticky rice cake wrapped in banana leaf, which quickly became one of Troy's favorites. At our next stop, we started climbing the stairs and kept climbing and kept climbing. We saw some beautiful views of the rice paddies and the stretching countryside below, and then we kept climbing. And just when we thought we were there, more steps kept appearing. Finally, after nearly 360 steep steps, yep, Troy counted, we reached the Wat Banan temple, an 11th century Angkorian hilltop temple. The temple's 5 sandstone towers are reminiscent of Angkor Wat, and it's thought to have been a major spiritual center during the Khmer Empire. It's dedicated to Hindu deities before later being used for Buddhist worship. The amazing architecture and beautiful views more than made up for every step it took to get there. We headed back down the stairs where we were treated to a delicious local lunch served by the river. We hopped in the back of a Jeep for a short ride up the winding path to soak in the views before checking out Wat Sampeau, a hilltop temple perched on a limestone cliff. The temple dates back to the 11th century and features a series of small shrines and colorful storytelling murals. As we headed to the killing caves, we passed a series of statues that depict scenes of human behavior and consequence. Traditional Buddhist-inspired imagery meant to remind visitors of moral choices and the importance of compassion. Inside the caves, the reality of the Khmer Rouge's brutality became clear. Thousands of men, women, and children were thrown here to their deaths, a chilling reminder of Cambodia's dark past. Near the bottom of the cave now sits a Buddhist shrine alongside the unknown remains of victims, serving as a quiet space to honor their memory and seek a measure of peace amidst unimaginable horror. As we left the solemn silence around the caves, we were greeted by the playful antics of monkeys and their babies near the temple, a quiet reminder that life goes on, even in places touched by history. At the top of the temple, with its striking Khmer-style roofs and panoramic views over the countryside, we enjoyed a peaceful spot to watch the sunset and reflect on the day's journey. Our next stop brought us back down the hill where the limestone cliffs are adorned with incredible stone sculptures carved into the rock. Intricate and impressive, but that's not even the main event here. As the sun begins to set, thousands of these wrinkle-lipped bats emerge from the cave in a spectacular exodus, swirling across the sky in a mesmerizing display that has become one of Battambang's most unforgettable sights. Our tuk-tuk driver drove us the 40 minutes back through town where a cold shower gratefully awaited. We really enjoyed that tour and we saw so much and learned so much. Our guide soon was really great. But
it was a really long 10-hour day.
It was hot and sweaty and it was a jarring day to our 50-plus-year-old bodies.
Yeah, for sure. We enjoyed the experience on the bamboo train, but it was a very flat bamboo cart that was on the railroad tracks, and so it was a little shaky, no shock absorbers, and it was about a quarter mile each way. So that part of the trip was a little bit jarring, long, it was hot.
Same thing with the tuk-tuk. It's great for shorter rides, but maybe not our favorite form of transportation for a long 10-hour day. So it was just kind of bouncy and jarring. So by the next day, we were more than ready for some downtime, some relaxation, and an excellent massage.
Yeah, it was really great massage. It was a nice experience.
The day after our tour, we walked through Battambang, along the river, and past some of the small shops. But we couldn't help but notice that many of the stores were closed. Locals told us that the ongoing conflict along the Cambodian-Thai border has unfortunately had a real impact on tourism here. We headed to the Lemongrass Spa for a much-needed massage, a place known for practicing massage ethically, meaning the staff are fairly compensated and trained, and the treatments are offered in a safe, respectful environment. We followed up our massage with a hydrating fresh coconut and enjoyed a delicious dinner out to round up our Valentine's Day celebration in lovely Battambang.